Hey everyone, Trailblazer here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. Did you just unlock the Persian F-14A but don't know what you're doing with the radar, what the controls are, and how to get kills with the Phoenix missiles or the Fox-3 90 missiles? Well, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to do just that. But first, let's talk about what Fox-3 missiles are. Fox-3 is just a code name for missiles that have their own radar built in. This means that after you fire them, they can find their target on their own, so you don't have to keep your plane's radar locked on the enemy. The AIM-54C and the Fox-3 90 are two examples of these long-range missiles. They are designed to take down enemy planes from far away. Before we start, let's look at all the important settings that we are going to need to launch the Fox-3 missiles. Please make sure you assign keys to the controls that are highlighted on the screen. So let's begin. After takeoff, start gaining speed immediately and wait for at least Mach 1 before you start pitching up. I usually go to Mach 1 before I climb, and I would suggest you do the same. Remember to switch your radar mode to TWS and increase the range to 98 kilometers. The most efficient way to fire Fox-3 missiles is from high altitude and at high speeds. Once you've achieved the required altitude, level off your plane and point it towards the enemy airfield or the general direction of where the enemy would be coming from. If your radar mode is still not switched to TWS, switch to TWS, switch to the AIM-54A Phoenix missile or the Fox-3 90, whichever one you're using. For me, it's the AIM-54A in this video because I'm using an F-14A. Once your radar picks up a target, it's going to highlight it on your screen in the form of a box. Once the target is highlighted on your screen, press the lock air-to-air missile button, and then once you get a solid lock, fire the missile. A solid lock is usually signified by two red circles. The inner circle tells you about the radar lock, and the outer circle tells you about the stability of the radar lock. If the outer red circle is incomplete and not a complete circle, that means the lock is not stable and the target is either chaffing or he's maneuvering, and that is causing you to not have a stable lock. After launching your first missile, press the Select Radar IRST Target to Lock button and switch to the next target. Repeat the same process of launching the Fox-3 missiles at the targets that are highlighted on your screen in a box. Keep switching between targets until you run out of Fox-3s and start evading immediately. To evade, turn your aircraft 90 degrees from the direction the targets are coming. Start chaffing and start turning and doing crank maneuvers to evade any Phoenix missiles or any Fox-3 missiles that are coming your way. At this point, your Phoenix missiles should be traveling towards their targets, and if they are unaware, you should get kills. But remember, there's also a chance that you may not get a kill at all because everyone is looking out for Phoenix and Fox-3 90 missiles right now. Remember to use the TWS mode for launching Fox-3 missiles. If you use any other mode of radar, it is possible that the target may get aware that a missile is being launched at them and they may start evading your missiles. So to summarize everything, the first stage is setting up your radar. First, make sure your radar is set to TWS mode. This mode lets you track several targets at once without alerting them. Once you lock onto a target, you're ready to fire. The next stage is firing the missile. With the enemy locked, go ahead and fire the missile. Remember, these missiles are best used at long range. Fire them when you're flying high up to get the most distance and accuracy. After launching, you can break off and let the missile do its job. And finally, handling multiple targets. One of the best things about Fox-3 missiles is that you can take on several enemies quickly. In TWS mode, you can lock and fire at multiple targets, one after the other, without the requirement of keeping the lock on the target. You can immediately move to the next target after firing a missile and launch multiple missiles, one after another. Additionally, even though these missiles are powerful, enemies might use tricks like chaff to break the lock. If that happens, don't worry. Try to lock them again and fire another missile if need to. You can also guide the missile closer before it switches to its own radar to make it harder for the enemy to dodge. But that comes with its own risk of you being targeted by the incoming enemy Fox-3 missile. Most common mistakes that I have seen players making right now is they're firing the missiles too low and this cuts the missile's range. Not using TWS mode, that can give up your position and the enemy is gonna start evading as soon as his RWR goes off. They also keep firing missiles at oncoming Phoenix missiles, which end up exploding in the sky. If you think that you don't have a solid lock, avoid launching a missile. Wait for a good solid lock and then launch your missile. That's it for today, folks. I hope the video is helpful. Take care and see you in the battlefield.